a quartzite harvesting quarry, a summer camp, and a werewolf curse. What do these things have in common? Well, the Hackett family of Hackett's Quarry, of course. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my series on the video game The Quarry. My name is Nicole Bryn, and today we're going to be diving into the question of what fate do the Hackett family deserve? If you haven't played The Quarry, it is an RPG survival horror game where you play as a group of camp counselors trying to survive from werewolves under the full moon. This werewolf curse started with the lycanthrope Silas Voorez. Silas was kept in a cage while traveling with his adopted mother and her traveling sideshow harem scarum. Caleb and Kaylee Hackett attempted to rescue Silas from his confinement. This rescue led to a fire that ended the harem scarum sideshow, and Silas infecting Caleb with lycanthropy. Caleb then went on to bite more members of the Hackett family, also infecting them with the curse, and during the events of the game, the Hackett family is trying to hunt down Silas in order to stop the curse in the family and free everybody from the curse. But it is up to you how that happens, who survives, who dies, who gets cursed forever, and if the curse is finally over. For a more detailed explanation of the story, please check out my other video on The Quarry, linked in the description below. So, who is in the Hackett family? Well, the Hackett family consists of parents Jedediah and Constance Hackett, and their sons Travis, Chris, and Bobby Hackett, and Chris Hackett's children Caleb and Kaylee Hackett. Some of these characters' actions are fixed, others will change depending on how you progress the storyline. For now, let's go one by one into each of these characters to see what their personalities are and their goals during the events of the game. Starting with the patriarch of the family, Jedediah is a surprisingly fit 81-year-old man who leads the hunt against Silas the dog boy. He is extremely devoted to his family, and even though he appears reserved, he will do what he must to protect his family, including murder. He is especially devoted to his wife Constance, and during the events of the game, there is a moment where Laura has the opportunity to kill Constance, his wife, and if you do, Jedediah becomes extremely hostile, and his goal really isn't to stop the curse anymore, it's to kill pretty much all the counselors.
Everybody stop!
Constance. What the fuck is going on up here?
Wake up. Wake up. Darling. Wake up. Wake up.
Oh. She's gone. Little Bobby. Mama's gone.
Cool.
Yeah. No more party. No more protecting anyone.
His wife Constance Hackett is a 70-year-old woman. She wants the counselors to stay safe and stays up the night in order to help her family do so. However, she is also much more devoted to her family than anyone else. Once her granddaughter Kaylee is killed by another counselor named Laura, she does become extremely hostile.
It's Kaylee. She's dead.
God damn it. No. 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 Not my granddaughter. Not my only granddaughter. Not my Kaylee. Not my little Kaylee. Not my little Kaylee. Not my little Kaylee. You goddamn piece of shit. Not my little Kaylee. God damn you.
And also pretty much wants all of the counselors to die just like her husband does. And I do think her rage may even be worse than Jedediah's. She may end up being a little bit more homicidal. The eldest son of the family is Travis Hackett at 56 years old. He is the sheriff of North Kill, where the summer camp is located. He became the sheriff after the previous sheriff had died in that same fire of Harum Scarum, and he then went on to be his successor. He can be cold, but he is collected in his decisions, and he tries to do his best to keep everyone safe.
My family is down at the bottom of a well. Family is the most important thing in the world. But if your whole family, you know, like every last one of them decided to jump down the bottom of a well and they're all just hanging on the end of a rope, how can one person be expected to pull them all back out? You can't. So you pull on that rope and you're just gonna fall right down at the bottom of the well with the rest of them. And what's the point of that?
To complete the goal of ending Silas, he will do what is necessary, even if it's unethical. He is the one that captures Laura and Max, two of the counselors, keeping them for a few months in a prison so that he can protect others from Max, who is now a werewolf, and see if Laura is infected at all. Unclear of exactly why he keeps them there so long, but it is believed that it's because he's trying to kill Silas before he can let them go. If you stay on Travis's good side as Laura, he will help them through this journey and take them to kill Silas with him. But if that relation starts off bad, he definitely won't trust her. And if she does hurt his family, he may become hostile and murderous as well. Definitely not as right to murder as his parents are. Even if one of his parents dies and he has a good relationship with Laura, he still might let it slide because in the end he knows this is about saving everyone else. And their death has already happened, so what can he do but just continue to save other people? Christopher Chris Hackett, the 48-year-old middle child, is the leader of Hackett Quarry's summer camp. He acts like a father figure to the counselors of the camp and genuinely wants the counselors to get through the night unscathed. He had been bitten by his son Caleb and now has the lycanthropy curse. Unable to get the counselors out in time, he chains himself up at the Hackett home to protect them from his werewolf form. Even though he can seem unreasonable to the counselors, it's clear that it's just because he's worried about their safety, and any anger that comes from that is because he wants them to stay alive, especially from him.
Jesus, Travis. You're still here? That's fucked up.
Fucking bit one of them, Chris. What's I supposed to do?
What's your plan? You can't keep him here forever.
I'm handling it.
Maybe if you'd done your job, they wouldn't have been at the camp that night. You ever think of that?
If I'd have done my job, you'd all be in prison. You ever think of that?
That was all Bobby and Caleb.
Or
You
those
know it.
hikers and that fucking journalist.
Damn it, Travis. What are we gonna do now?
Whatever happened to we're all in this together?
Just as a note, his wife did die in 1999. Unclear of why, but since it's the same year that Kaylee Hackett was born, it is believed that she died during childbirth. Robert Bobby Hackett is the youngest brother at age 45. He blindly follows his parents' orders and helps in the hunt of Silas. He previously served in the U.S. military, though it is unknown when or how long. Bobby appears to have a mind of a child and that he does not comprehend what it means to hurt or kill someone. These traits of Bobby's do make him an easy person to be manipulated by his own family. It doesn't seem like he fully comprehends the fullness of what is going on, and his family definitely takes advantage of that.
Ow! You stabbed me!
Yeah, fucking hurts, don't it?
I ain't never been stabbed before.
Leave me alone.
Ow, it really hurts. Dad!
Now let's get on to Chris's kids. Caleb Hackett is the eldest son of Chris at 26 years old. Caleb had been first bitten by Silas, and he soon infected both his father and sister. Caleb spends most of the game in his werewolf form, but he is described as a kind but reclusive kid who works in the family scrapyard during the camp's off-season. Kaylee Hackett, 22, successfully freed Silas, but she would have to live with the consequences of that action, especially since Caleb had bitten her, infecting her with lycanthropy. Kaylee Hackett is killed by Laura when Laura mistakes her for Chris. This death is unavoidable.
It would have sensitive hearing, so... What the fuck?
Did she shoot at us? Oh shit, Dylan, what is that?
Now, this is all the family members that we meet in the game, but their ancestors are just as important to establish their history. In the mid-1800s, they claimed the land they own for trapping, probably being part of the large western migration of that time. They discovered quartz deposits on their land and turned most of the forest into a quarry to mine the quartz. They got very rich off of this, and their fortune would stay in the family for a while. During the life of Septimus Hackett, one of the children of the original owners, a cave-in occurred endangering miners. It's unclear of when this exactly happened, but it's believed to be in the 1930s, around the reign of Septimus Hackett. And instead of fixing up the mines to make the work more safe, he instead turned it into smuggling tunnels for bootleg whiskey during the Prohibition. The end of the Prohibition marked their beginning downfall of their fortune, so they abandoned the quarry and ended up filling it with water, presumably by Septimus Hackett, but it's not sure exactly why. Then Septimus' son Francis went on to found the summer camp in 1953. He presumably ran it until he gave ownership to his grandson Chris Hackett, and Chris Hackett does currently own the summer camp and run it during the events of the game. Because of their ancestry, they are one of the most well-known families in North Kill, the town that the quarry is in, and they do seem to have a lot of power within this town because of that. Without this power, they wouldn't be able to control the werewolf situation like they did. It would be a lot harder and definitely wouldn't go the way that it did. So, what to make of the Hackett family? They're all a little different, but in the end, they all seem quite devoted to each other. They want to help, but never at the expense of their family. Even though they could possibly kill Caleb to save both Kaylee and Chris, they would never make such a decision. Therefore, they need to kill Silas to save all three, Caleb, Kaylee, and Chris. And since they have this fortune and this power in this town, they have gotten used to getting what they want. Pretty much since any of them were born, they could probably do whatever they want. So it makes a lot of sense once this werewolf thing starts happening that they do take control, because since they love their family more than anything, they would rather see the town fall into mayhem than see any of their family members die. At least I think that's how Jedediah and Constance feel for sure. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Who did you let live? Who did you want to let live? I'm definitely pretty curious because I have mixed feelings on it. The parents do seem more lost than the rest of them. They do turn to hostility a lot quicker than the others. I can understand why. I can understand the anger and the fear that comes along with that. But still, they possibly murder innocent people. The sons do seem to be more reasonable. Travis and Chris seem to genuinely want to save everybody. They want the werewolf curse to stop, to save more than just themselves and their family. Bobby Hackett, I think, had been pretty manipulated by his father. Like I said, I don't think he understands the full repercussions of what he's doing. Then Caleb and Kaylee Hackett, I do think their hearts are in the right place. If you saw a boy being caged, you would want to save him too, and I do agree with what they did. It is unfortunate that it went the way that it did, though, and I'm sure they deal with a lot of guilt. I think other than the werewolf curse that they have, I think that's why they're pretty reclusive, because they're just quiet. They have so much of this guilt for what they did and how they affected their family with this lycanthropy curse. But it does seem they do try their best as well to lock themselves up when it is a full moon so that they don't hurt anybody. But that is just one person's humble opinion. Please leave me your opinions down below in the comments. I definitely want to hear what you all have to say. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, give me a like, and if you want to see more videos on this topic, please subscribe. Thank you all for watching and have a great night.